Hey everyone! So, if you are thinking about moving to Rochester, New York, or maybe you are just curious about what life is really here in a flower city, well, you came to the right place. If you just landed in this channel, my name is Khem, and today we are diving deep into the honest truth about the living in Rochester, the good, the bad, and everything in between. And trust me, there is a lot to unpack here. Whether you are considering a move for work, a family, or you are just looking a fresh start, this video is going to give you the real deal about what it's like to actually live here day to day. So let's jump right in and talk about what makes Rochester great. And yeah, we will also cover some things that may not be a great depending on what you are looking for. Let's start with probably the biggest advantage of Rochester has. The cost of living here is absolutely fantastic, especially compared to other north-side cities. You can still find beautiful, move-in-ready homes in a safe neighborhood for under $250,000. In some area, you are still looking at $150,000 to $200,000 for a solid starter home with the yard. Try doing this in Boston, New York City, and even in Albany. It is just not going to happen. The median home price in Rochester is significantly lower than the national average, which means your money goes so much further here. You can be living here in 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with a garage and a backyard for what a studio apartment costs you in Manhattan. And it is not the housing, the grocery, utilities, and dining out plus entertainment. It is all more affordable. Your salary might be slightly lower than in the major cities, but your housing costs can cut in half or more. You end up way more disposable income. For a young professional, family, and anyone looking to actually build up equity and save money, Rochester can be the hidden gem. Now I'm going to list this as a pro, but I know some of you might disagree, and we will get that in not so great section. Rochester have 4 very distinct beautiful seasons: spring, cherry bloomings, and a Highland Park Lilac Festival, one of the most beautiful events you will ever experience. Summer is absolutely gorgeous with a temperature in 70s and 80s, perfect for hiking, visiting the Finger Lakes, and enjoying our waterfronts. Fall, don't even get me started. The fall here is stunning. Driving through the countryside in October is like being in a postcard. Letchworth State Park, the Grand Canyon in the east, is the 45 minutes away, and it is breathtaking in autumn. And yes, winter is a real here. But if you embark it, skiing, snowboarding, ice skating, cozy coffee shop, it can actually be enjoyable. Plus, you get the special feelings of Christmas snow that you just did not get in a warmer climate. The season gives you the variety. You will never bore with the winter. Okay, but maybe sometime probably you're gonna get bored with the winter because it's a March and there is still some snow coming. Rochester punch way above its weight when it comes to the food. There is something people don't expect, but once you live here, you will realize we have an amazing culinary scene. First off, the Carver's plate. Love it or hate it, it is iconic. Nick Tuhas invented the master of the dish, and it is the Rochester rite of the passage. But beyond that, we have a James Beard nominated restaurant, incredible farm-to-table dining, diverse international cuisine, Thai, Vietnamese, Ethiopian, Mexican, Italian, and you name it. The North Wington Village area, Park Avenue, and the downtown have a fantastic dining options. Rochester also has a thriving craft brewer scene. Genesee Brewer has been since 1878, but you also got a spot like Reverse, Freehands Brewing, and ton of similar craft brewers popping up. The Rochester Public Market on Saturday morning, come on, absolutely must. Fresh product, local vendors, prepared food. It became a community staples, and it is incredible to be there. on the weekend. Rochester have really solid and diverse economy. A lot of people didn't even realize how many majors employed are based here. The University of Rochester, UR Medicine are huge employee. We are taking healthcare, research and cutting-edge medical workers. Rochester Regional Health is another massive system. We are also a major tech optic hub. Kodak might not be what it once was, but legacy of the innovation continues. Companies like Paycheck, which do the payroll services, Xerox has wood here, and there are growing startup scene, especially in the photonic and imaging technology. Wegman headquarters is here, and if you don't know what Wegman is, it is only the best grocery chain in America. Seriously, people are obsessed with the Wegman. And there are the big companies with the real career opportunity here. Bosch, Limbo, Constellation, Brand, there are big companies with the real career opportunities here. And with the RIT, the Rochester Institute of Technology, and U of R, charming our talent, there is well-educated workforce. The job market isn't as massive as New York City or the Boston, but it is stable, diverse, and there is a real opportunity, especially in the healthcare, tech, education, and manufacturing sector. For the city of our size, metro population around 1 million, Rochester has incredible cultural and educational resources. The George Eastman Museum is the world class. It is one of the oldest photography museum in the world, and the historic mansion is stunning. The Strong National Museum of Play, if you have a kid, this is the paradise. It is one of the best children museum in the country. Rochester Museum and Science Center, Memorial Art Gallery, Geneva Theater, and we have legitimate culture institution here. Music and art, yeah. The Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra, the Eastman School of Music, one of the top music school globally, constant contract, festivals and event. And education-wise, the school here are strong. The suburb, especially Pittsburgh, Brighton, Penfield and Webster, have an excellent public school system. It is a great place to raise your kid. Rochester's location is fantastic. We are in the sweetest part of the Western New York with access to so much. Finger Lake region is in our backyard. Wineries, hiking, walking glens, Seneca Lake, Keuka Lake, weekend getaway are easy and stunning. Niagara Falls is just 90 minutes away. Toronto is just 2.5 hours. Buffalo is not even an hour. Syracuse is 90 minutes. You can be in Adirondack in few hours. Lake Ontario is right here, and a Seabridge Park, Charlotte Beach, waterfront trails, and if you want to fly somewhere, the Rochester Airport is small but efficient. You can get to the major hubs easily, and you are not dealing with the nightmare of JFK. You get a small city living with the big city's access when you want. Rochester has a really genuine Midwestern-like friendliness. People here are down to earth, welcoming, and there is real community pride. Neighborhood have an identity. Park Avenue have a artsy electric vibe. South Avenue is up and coming and a hype. The suburb each have their own character. People actually talk about their neighbors here. You will find yourself having a conversation at the coffee shop, the grocery store, and a local event. It does not have the cold, anonymous feels like some bigger cities have. There are a strong buy local, support local culture. People genuinely care about the Rochester and want to see it thrive. Okay, I said the fourth season was the pro, and it is for some people. But let me be real, the winter in Rochester is long and is harsh. We get about 100 inches of snow per year on average. That's a lot, and it is just not one or two big storms. It's consistent snow from November through April sometime. The lake effect snow from Lake Ontario means we can get dumped on a little warning. You will have a day where you wake up in the morning and find out you have a foot of snow which was not even predicted. It is cold, like real cold. January and February can see temperatures in a single digit or even below sub-zeros with the wind chill. And here is the kicker. It is just not the snow and a cold, it is the air. Rochester is one of the coldest cities in the America. From November to March, you may not see a sun for a day or even a week at a time. That can really affect your mood and mental health. Seasonal affective disorder is a real thing here. Vitamins D and supplement, light therapy lamps, they are not the luxurious, they are necessary for a lot of people. If you are someone who needs sunshine and warmth, Rochester weather is tough and really tough, and I'm just saying, like, Rochester is not built for you. Rochester economy is much better than it was 20-30 years ago, but we're still dealing with the legacy of the industrial decline. Kodak's fall hit the city hard, very hard. At its peak, Kodak employed 60,000 locally. Now it is a fraction of that. Xerox downsized significant and Bosch Lambo moved its headquarters. This hit the city very hard. There are pockets of the city and the inner suburb that is still showing sign of economic struggle. Back in building, closing businesses, neighborhood that have not fully recovered. The job market is good, but it is not explosive growth. Salaries tend to be lower than coastal cities. Through again, cost of living is lower too. If you are in a niche field, opportunity might be limited. Young Rochesterians are still living for the bigger metros for the career advance. Brain drain is a real issue Rochester is still trying to combat. City is still investing heavily in a revitalization, and it is working, but it is at the slow process. If you don't have a car, living in Rochester is going to be challenging. We have a RTS bus system, but it is not extensive or super reliable compared to the metro city. Routes are limited, especially in the suburb. Frequency isn't that great. There is no subways, no light rail, no commuter train system. You are driving pretty much everywhere, to work, the grocery store, entertainment, and everything. This is also mean more car expenses, insurance, maintenance, gas, parking, and in winter you need a reliable vehicle that can really handle the snow. For people coming from the cities with the robust public transportation, this is going to be a big adjustment and you need to get ready for that. Rochester downtown has improved dramatically in past couple of years, but it is still not where a lot of people want to be in. During the business hour, downtown is active. People working, going for lunch, but after 5 or 6 p.m., especially on the weekdays night, it can be pretty dead outside of a specific pocket. There are a good restaurant and bar in the downtown and events bring people in, but it does not have a 24/7 urban energy you can find in the bigger cities. If you are expecting a vibrant, walkable downtown with the endless things to do at all hours, you might be disappointed. It is getting better, but it is not there yet. On the flip side, this means less traffic, easier to find the parking in the downtown area, and a more relaxed pace of the growth, which some people love, and it is not for everyone. There is something that surprised a lot of new residents. While home prices are low, property tax in New York can be pretty high. The rates vary significant by the school district and a municipality. Some suburbs have very high taxes to support excellent school district and services. So the $200,000 house may also come up with $6,000 to $8,000 in annual property tax, depending on where you are. That's something you need to factor into your budget. New York State also have relatively high income taxes comparing to other cities. The affordability is still strong overall, but make sure you are looking at the total pictures, not just the purchase price of your house. Like every city, Rochester do have some areas with the high crime rate. The city itself has struggled with the gun violence and the property crime in certain neighborhood. The northeast and northwest part of the city have the higher crime rate. There are the area you want to avoid, especially during the night time. However, and this is important, the suburb and many cities neighborhoods are very safe. Places like Brighton, Pittsburgh, Penfield, Victor, Fairport, Henrietta, those have very low crime rate. It is really about knowing the area. Do your research on the specific neighborhood where you want to move or you want to live. Crime status are available online. Drive through the area at the different time of the day before committing your living here. The city is working on this with the community programs and increased police presence in the problem area, but it is still an ongoing changes. So it may be in a slow place, but we're probably gonna get through this at some point. Rochester have about 200,000 people in the city proper and 1 million in a metro. This a decent size, but it is still not a major metro. What does this mean? The dating pool is similar. Niche hobby group might be harder to find. Certain type of entertainment or specialty stores might not exist here. If you want the constant variety, cutting-edge trend, or a bigger cities feel, Rochester might be limiting after a while. For some people, this is actually a pro. They love the smaller, more manageable size, but the others, especially for those who coming from the major cities, can be feel constraining. So there you have it, the great and not so great about the living in Rochester, New York. Here is my honest take. Rochester is an excellent place to live if you value the affordability, community, quality of life, and you don't mind about the weather. It is perfect for the family, young professional who want to save money and buy a house, and people who appreciate a slow pace without sacrificing cultures and communities. The city is on an upward trajectory. Investments are being made, young people are starting to move here, and there is genuine excitement about the Rochester future. If you considering moving here, I would say visit first, especially in the winter time and the summer, so you can able to experience both extremes. Explore different neighborhood, and you also have to make sure to explore different neighborhood and their vibe. Talk to the people and see if it feels like a home. And hey, if you have any questions about the Rochester or a specific neighborhood, drop them into a comment below. And I love talking about this city and I'm happy to help. If this video was helpful, give a thumbs up and subscribe for the more Rochester content. I have got a ton of more video planned about the neighborhood, the real estate, things to do, and all things Rochester. Thanks for watching, and maybe I will see you in Rochester soon.